According to the BBC, over 40 million people are displaced in a region where poverty and illiteracy is rampant. This region is the Middle East. Now, you also know that the Middle East is an area where the U.S. is at war with, and we're dropping bombs on them daily. The thing is, we don't need to be dropping bombs on them, but we need to be giving them humanitarian aid. The reasons why we shouldn't be involved there militarily is because the complications between the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and our allies in the region promoting extremist groups. The first thing I want to touch on is Israel. In 1967, Israel took 3 areas: the Golan Heights, West Bank, and the Gaza Strip. All 3 of these areas were completely Arab. After they were taken control of, they were called the occupied territories because they became under military occupation by Israel. Now, you may think this is good, but sadly, since they took the land, they've been letting Jewish settlers come in and divide the land up from the Arabs and put settlements there. Now, over 200 settlements have been put there since 1992, and these little settlements, it's not just 1 house or 2 houses, these are small towns. So these are acres of land that are being taken from these people. Also, 2 million Arabs live in these occupied territories, and they have very little rights. Many travel bans are enforced, so they can barely travel to and from work if they work in Israel, and many of their educational institutions have been closed because of minor violations. Also, there are 1 million Arabs that live in the state of Israel, and they're denied the right to buy homes, and are also denied the right to serve in the military. So there's definitely a subjugated population in this country, but the thing is, our nation is the one that's supporting them. See, Israel is heavily funded by the U.S., especially the military. 1/3 of our foreign aid budget goes to them. So every year, at the beginning of the fiscal year, a lump sum goes to the state of Israel with almost no strings attached, which means they don't have to account to where this money goes to. About every year, $3 billion goes to them, and since the year 1949 up to 2001, over $96 billion has been given to them. Now, I understand you think, it's supporting a country, but the thing is, Israel has one of the highest net incomes in the world, so it's not like we're giving a lot of our foreign aid to countries that are poor, that actually need it. We're giving it to a country that is developed and actually has a strong economy. So it also says in the U.S. Foreign Assistance Act that it's illegal to give money to a nation that continually has human rights violations, and Israel has definitely proven itself to be one of those nations. But sadly, we're still continuing to do this. The other reason why we should not be in the Middle East militarily is because of the promotion of extremist groups by our allies in the region. Some of our allies in the region are Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. All 3 of these countries have made more than 90% of their wealth just off oil. The whole economy is based on oil. Now, the thing about this, though, is they follow a specific brand of Islam, and it's called Salafism. And the thing, it's okay that you want to spread religion, because they do spend billions and billions of dollars every year just to fund hundreds of Islamic centers, schools, and mosques. Just to put in perspective, there's a WikiLeaks cable that came out that said in one region in Pakistan, over $1 million was given by Saudi Arabia annually just to run the Islamic centers and mosques. So like stated earlier, there's nothing wrong with spreading religion, but if you look into the brand of Islam they're spreading, it really tends to harbor a lot of extremist teaching. Salafism specifically means ancestors in Arabic, and basically means the followers want to live a life like the Prophet did all the way back in the 600s. So basically, they're very strict with what they do. They also believe that the other segments, other branches of Islam, like Sufism, Shiaism, like that they're actually heretics, and they believe that they actually need to be killed because they don't believe that their actions are truly Islamic. So the thing is, these people are spreading, the religion that preaches violence to many schools in many places around the U.S., Europe, Canada, and the majority of terrorist leaders that are actually fighting now follow the same branch of Islam that our so-called allies are following. It's even been said in a WikiLeaks cable that Hillary Clinton admitted that Saudi Arabia is one of the chief sponsors of Sunni extremism in the Middle East. And it's also known that in Saudi Arabia, in the schools, they teach children hate also in the textbooks. In a 4th grade textbook, it's been revealed that it states that the hour of judgment, which means, the day of resurrection of Christians, will not come until the Muslims kill all the Jews and fight the Christians. And also says in textbooks that you can't trust them and you can't even live side by side. Basically almost an ideology of world domination. And this is something they're teaching their kids. So really it seems like these people that we're giving all our money to because they're giving us oil are the ones that are causing the extremism. So rather than go there militarily and fight, we should hit the head of the snake and stop the funding of the extremism. This speech that I just gave was about why the U.S. should not be involved in the Middle East militarily, and the big reasons are because the human rights violations in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and also our allies promoting extremism. So really, the big question is, should we be sending American troops to a place fighting people with arms that we actually bought them?